So you don't meet up with a charismatic man, for instance, who are going to be able to twist your arm. It's not twisting your arm, it's just charisma. Men just have it in them. They just have a thing, especially charismatic men. So what's happening, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. My name is Sister Oz. If you're new, please subscribe to my channel, and if you've watched my videos, hi, welcome back. Today I want to talk about masculine women, but not in a negative light. I want to talk about the positive masculine qualities that women could try to maybe gravitate towards, especially to function just in this world, because the world is very masculine. Capitalism is very masculine in my opinion. So I've got my notes here, so if you see me glancing over that side, it is my notebook. So firstly, I just want to preface this by saying being masculine as a female is not necessarily wrong, especially if you know how to use those attributes or those qualities or traits. So if, for instance, you're in the presence of masculine men, their masculinity comes natural for them. So for me, I feel like more especially in, for example, the corporate world, you find women more than anything wanting to tap into and tap heavily into their masculinity, because it is a competitive and it is a very the corporate world is very masculine, because like I said, capitalism is masculine in its stature. It just is. It is what it is. What can I say? So so most women tend to lean heavily into that, into the masculine side when they're at work or when they're conducting business, and it's understandable because you need some form of toughness in order to survive, because it's a dog eat dog world out there. Like for instance, the other day, I'm just gonna go on a tangent. The other day I was almost scammed. Like, this guy, he calls me and he's like, sorry ma'am, and he seemed very down, very sad. He's like, sorry ma'am, I just deposited 1,500 rands into your account. It's a lot of money into your account. Can you please try and reverse it and whatnot? He was like, can you please try and take it out so that you can resend it to my account? I'm like, okay. Luckily my partner was home that day. My fiance was home that day. He was on leave. So I was like, so I shared this with him. I'm like, oh my god. At first I was excited because there was a part of me just that wanted to be, money, how money is. But I was like, no, I don't want, when people are sad because of you, like, I just don't want to. I have certain beliefs around not hurting human beings in order for that not to come back to you, So I'm a very firm believer in karma, especially if you're guilty about it. So I know I was going to be guilty. I was going to feel guilty and I was going to feel shame because the guy was feeling sorry. But the guy was scamming me. He didn't want us to go and take the money out. Like, long story short, he didn't want for us to go take the money out. He's like, take the money out, but please send me 200 rand a time. But like, to cut a very long story short, eventually I figured out, like, I went to check the e-wallet. The e-wallet was no longer there, it was reversed. So he wanted me to send him money or to send him airtime and then he'd rip me off, so you get the idea. So I'm saying he was willing to do that, and he was willing to play on my femininity and on my soft side to be able to rip me off. So you do need some level of masculinity in this world in order to maneuver around this world full of wolves that just want to chow, take. Men are good and are bad for the world. That's what I'll say. So the qualities that I've identified to be positive or to be like conducive and would make sense for women to tap into from time to time. I'm not saying to wear the coat all the time, but it helps to succeed in this world, because the world is not what it used to be, there's high levels of toxic femininity, as well as toxic masculinity, or toxic patriarchy, I would say. So the 4 traits that I identified are: the first one is confidence. You need confidence in this world. So if sometimes it comes across as arrogance, but it's not necessarily arrogance. It's you trusting. It's you trusting who you are and what you bring to the table. So as a lady, for instance, your confidence can be, derived from being beautiful, your external, more than anything for ladies. For me, not necessarily. I just want to make sure that my physical body is, I don't have a lot of flab. When I'm wearing my clothes, they're able to fit nicely. There's nothing, poking out. And to do that, you need to exercise, need to eat right, need to drink water, all the things, the nice things, the good stuff. It also helps. All of these things have a ripple effect, a positive ripple effect, like beyond confidence. The positive ripple effect would be one being, healthy, like positive, nice smells, every body odor, nice body odor everywhere, hint, so good things all around, especially if you are actively doing it as a lifestyle, not just for a means to an end. So if you constantly work out 3 times a week minimum, you feel the benefits, especially when it comes to your mental health. And I know mental health is definitely connected to confidence, or dwindling confidence, which is lack of confidence, right? So we know, so it's very important. It's very important. You can never go wrong in all facets of life. You need your confidence to be intact. Whether you're at home, whether you're with you're at work with your family, whoever, your partner, nobody can nobody can do no eat to you, especially when you're okay, when you trust yourself, you're secure, it just makes everything work. It just makes things, gel. So the second point is assertiveness. Now this one is very, I would say, it's not for the dunderheads, because other people are assertive or think they're assertive. Other people think they're assertive when they're just being stubborn, So being assertive is actually knowing something and being convinced of the positivity of that something, or the effectiveness of that something, and actually moving, tenaciously, moving, forward with no doubts. Just you're sure, and so even if for instance somebody wants to convince you otherwise, can I have a date with you, and you convince yourself that you, for an example, don't want to date such and such. For me, I'd never date, let me not give it, what you're about, and there's nothing that can shift you about that, and you can be able to stand up for that, so that means, in my opinion, it needs you to be not an ahead, so I'm advocating for ladies to not just focus their attention or their femininity and everything that they're about on just the physical. If you invest in keeping yourself updated when it comes to just information generally, if you're a person who loves soapies, you could just keep yourself updated with news, because in between soapies there's news, current affairs. Know what's happening, be informed, know the intricate things about the things that you like, so that you can have an opinion in the circles that you move in, so that you don't come across as an airhead, even if you like makeup. Get to know what ingredients are in the makeup, get to know a lot of things that will make you to be able to stand firm in whatever it is that you believe in, so that you don't meet up with a charismatic man, for instance, who are going to be able to twist your arm. It's not twisting your arm, it's just charisma. Men just have it in them. They just have a thing, especially charismatic men. They can be able to make you agree to the most worst things that you would never want to agree to, So if you're an assertive person, you're no, that's not me. I want this, and you stand on your word. For instance, I think like what comes to mind when I'm speaking about this is the 90-day thing. You need to be assertive when you want to do those kind of moves, right? Cool. The third point is independence. Now, this one is very tricky in the sense that when you're up and about in the world, you do need to actually have some level of, confidence, and independence in the ability for you to, if you're a driver, to find your way around places so that you don't get, tricked or robbed or whatever. So independence is very important. So I'm talking to ladies more than anything who are in relationships or who seek to be in relationships. When you lead with your independence, especially your independence of another human being, that is a question mark, especially a human being that you is the socket to your plug, for instance. I feel like men and women just, especially heterosexual people, we just click, we connect, we were made for each other. So in order for us to feel some form of warmth and some form of effectiveness of these relationships that we seek to have with each other, we need to have some form of, dependency to a certain extent, right? You don't like maybe 50%, or even if you have your own level of high independence, you don't need to show it to the next person, especially men, because men want to feel needed. So even if, for instance, I'm able to bring my own, ish to the table. I can do what I can, but from time to time I'm a lady and I need that. I want that. It makes me feel, it feels good to know that somebody's taking care of you. You don't always have to do everything. You can just, oh my god. And it's a pity I don't have nails. I used to have nails before they got so I would like always have the, baby, can you, I like that. But immediately when I leave this door, leave the gate, it changes. I have to make sure that, like, for instance, if I'm in the office, okay, sorry, I got disturbed. So if for instance I'm at work, I need to show some level of independence and show how I can be able to, maneuver myself around my, role, whatever role that I have in my company or my business or whatever, right? Then the last point is to be daring, and this one is the best, to be daring. So to be daring, which is adventurous, and the audacity to be bold. And I mean bold, not embarrassing, not wretched, not trashy, not loud. Be bold, whatever it is that you do it with so much conviction that the next person is like, look at her. I'm bold in my I don't wear makeup stands, I wear little makeup stands, irrespective. My skin has been acting up because I've changed my beauty products, but I'm bold in what I know, and there's nothing that will stop me. I no matter who would want to convince me that meat tastes good, for instance, I'm bold in knowing that being a vegetarian is going to help me long term, and it's not only about me, it's about a greater cause. So there's certain things that I am like, unapologetic about. My stance, my political stances, I'm very bold, and I would be able to defend myself in a group of people. I wouldn't cower down when a group of people who would say 1, 2, and 3 that is against what I or Jesus is life and whatnot. I would be like, okay, respect that Jesus works for you, but for me, what has been working has been 1, 2, 3. So it is the stance that I've been carrying since high school. It made me fight with my mother. It made me fight with my family. I'm to a certain extent not in good terms with my family, but I'm okay with it because I want to live the life that I want to live in peace, and just living my best life, not trying to be apologetic or cowering or trying to conform to people's what they expect of me. I would never do that. I'm one of the conscious ladies who is not 100%. I have my own bit of spice, you know. I'm feminine, but I can be, I've got my earrings, I've got my tongue rings, I plan on having my belly rings, I've got my, piercings everywhere. That is me, and I'm bold in my expression of myself. I'm bold and I'm adventurous in the sense that I want to live. I want to live, but I'm very strategic about that because I'm not a man. So all of these points, confidence, assertiveness, independence, and daring, all of these points can work for the feminine, and they work beautifully. You can make it gel in your life, but you need to possess a certain level of positive masculinity in order to function in this masculine world. Thank you for watching my video. Catch you in the next video. Bye.